Hey there, friends. It's Lauren Rilling, your coach for business, finance, and stewardship. Today, I'm going to share with you the 3 goals that every entrepreneur has to have. When you think about creating goals, what comes to mind? For me, for a long time, setting a goal was all about pushing myself beyond what I thought my limits were. It was all about achieving the most I could achieve, working out as hard as I could possibly work out, running as fast as I could possibly run, making as much money as I possibly could. And I gotta tell you, that's kind of exhausting after a while. Well, what I've learned is that goals are really all about creating alignment in your life. It's all about setting up goalposts to know that you're on the right track to where you're trying to be, not to adopt someone else's idea of what success is. And so when I thought about the goals that every entrepreneur needs to have, I want it to be something that is going to allow you to design the business and the life that you are trying to create. And so with that, let's talk about the first goal. The first goal that you need to have is an income goal, a personal income goal. Now, most of the time when we think about business finance, we're talking about our revenue goals. How much money do you want to make in your business this year? And yes, that is a good one to have, but I want to reverse engineer it a little bit. How much do you want to take home from that business? Because here's the thing, you could have a 6-figure or a 7-figure or even an 8-figure business sometimes, and yet you personally can be totally broke. Now, I know that's a little extreme sounding, but it's true, it happens. And so if you think about it from the perspective of how do I want my company to financially provide for me, because that is one of the goals of a business, then you can reverse engineer that revenue number and design your business around what your income level is going to be. So here's the thing, it can be any number. There is not a right or a wrong number here. I can remember that I didn't take a salary at first. I didn't pay myself for a long time because I thought that I had to get to a certain level in my business before it made sense to pay myself. And you know what? Do you know what my starting salary was? It was quite humble. It was not very impressive. It was $1,000 a month. However, that $1,000 a month was a game changer for my family at the time. It increased our budget by a certain percentage that just allowed us to do more. And I felt so much more rewarded for the time and the effort that I was putting into my business, that it was inspiring to keep going. And it really did make a financial impact on my family's life. So even if it's $1,000 a month, that is not too small to begin with if that's you. Now, let's say that you're already making $8,000 a month. That's great, but maybe you want to be making 10, or if you're making 10, maybe you want to be making 15. Okay, that's also totally fine. Or if you're making 10 a month and you're going, I'm good. Okay, great. I'm so glad that you're doing well. Whatever it is, just put that number down for how much you would like to make this year in take-home pay. Now from there, that's our starting point for how we create our revenue goal. And so using your profit first percentages, setting those target percentages for what percentage needs to be in operating expenses, taxes, profit, and owner pay, we can then determine how much money that means for your annual revenue goal. So if you are going to create a goal to make $10,000 a month this year in take-home pay in personal income, then that would translate to $20,000 a month in revenue or $240,000 a year. And that would be your target revenue goal. All right, let's talk about the next goal. Goal number 2 is your time goal. How much time do you want to be spending working on and in your business every month? For me, when I started and even now, I work 20 hours per week. And maybe eventually I will work more, but for now I've got little kiddos and one is not even 2 years old yet. And I want to make sure that I have a lot of time to spend with them. So for me, 20 hours a week is what works best for our family and what serves their needs, and also allows me to thrive in my business. So it's the perfect amount of time for me in this season. And that can change next year, right? But whatever it is for you in this season is what's right. And so you could say, hey, 40 hours a week is perfect. Maybe it's going to be 30, maybe it's going to be 15, maybe it's going to be 45 or 50. I don't recommend going above 50. There's been a lot of research done on this, and Michael Hyatt, he's a productivity expert. I highly recommend his resources on this subject. But he says, and he used to be a CEO, he says, don't work more than 50 hours per week. You're not going to get much done. It's not going to help you be more productive. So definitely limit the time that you're working, but be intentional about those hours and about your home life and your work life. All right, now here is the next goal. The next goal, the third one, is your impact goal. What do you want your impact to be? Now, when we hear the word impact, to be honest, to me, it sounds a little elusive and kind of abstract. Like you want to know that you're making a difference. You want to feel that you are making a difference in the lives of the people that you're serving and in your family's life and your community. And that's all really good. You want to feel purposeful in what you're doing. Those are all really good things. And I think that when we talk about making an impact, that's sort of what comes to mind, or what we're feeling inside when we say impact. But we want to make it this idea of impact concrete and really tangible, because then we can actually make sure that the impact that we are having and striving for aligns with how we are using our time and the way that we are making money. So we want these goals to then align, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But what is that impact that you want to have? For instance, if you're an attorney, maybe you help bring justice for people who have had something, done against them. Or maybe there's been some injustice that you are helping to make right. And so maybe your impact is going to be all about helping people bring justice to certain situations depending on your area of law that you practice, right? And you could have a number of clients that you serve. It could be about the area of law where you are bringing justice and light into the world. You sort of get the idea there. So impact is all about, yes, the number of people you're helping, who you are helping, and how you are helping them, but not merely the services or products that you're providing, but how it's changing their lives. And then I want to also mention that you might not be a business owner where you feel like you are solving a big problem. Like maybe you're saying, I'm not a lawyer who's bringing justice to the world. I don't have this deep problem that I feel like I'm solving. But I want to tell you that yes, your impact is just as important. Maybe you own a business where it's all about having fun and celebrating. Like if you're a wedding event planner, then your impact is on the couples that you are helping them to celebrate so that they can have a stress-free celebration on the most important day of their lives. That's not insignificant. That is impactful. Perhaps you have a coffee shop, and yes, you are selling coffee, but the impact that you get to create is far beyond what you are selling. Maybe the impact that you are creating is that you are creating a place for community and connection for 5,000 of your closest neighbors. That is a legitimate and important impact. So while you might not be solving a direct problem in that sense, you are problem solving and you are providing value and you are making a difference in people's lives, whether it is because you're addressing a specific pain point or because you're making their lives better in some way. So now that we have these three goals, we've got our income goal, our time goal, and our impact goal. Now, the key is to make these three goals align. And again, this is going to be different for every person. But to give you a quick story, I can remember early on in my coaching days being told, it's kind of silly of you to be doing one-on-one coaching because you're trading time for money. And you really shouldn't do that. If you want to be successful, You need to create an online course because online courses will allow you to scale, and that is how you make a greater impact, because impact is all about the number of people that you're helping, and you can help more people if you are teaching them through an online course, and you're going to make more money that way. Problem solved. Well, I sort of did take the bait on that for a little bit, and ultimately, here's the conclusion I came to. That didn't line up with my goals. See, I was letting others tell me what my goals should be. I was letting them tell me that one-on-one coaching isn't any more valuable than taking an online course. That was the lie. And what I came to realize was that in the online course that I had created, that I no longer sell or anything, but I did not find my sense of that sense of impact that I wanted to have. It wasn't there, because an online course is not the same as one-on-one coaching. They both have their place. They're both awesome for different things. And in fact, I am working on an online course now, but the purpose of it is not to fulfill the same purpose that one-on-one coaching does. I have a different objective with it in mind. I want to serve people in a different way with that course than I can with one-on-one coaching, right? So it's just a different thing. And once I learned that and I discovered that, I realized that the problem was not with my time. It was not with my impact. It was not with what I was offering to people. The challenge that I was having is that I wasn't charging enough for my one-on-one coaching. And so I needed to address that problem and recognize the value of what I was offering, because I had experienced the value of coaching myself. And so I needed to make an adjustment in a different place that would align my goals, my income goal, my time goal, and my impact goal. So I made those adjustments to create that alignment. But what I wasn't doing was, or what I stopped doing was, I stopped letting other people tell me what my goals should be and what my impact needed to look like. So I hope that by writing these out, you can identify, well, maybe if I want to make this happen, like if I want to work 10 hours less per week, but I want to increase my income by $2,000 a month, what are the changes that I can make to bring those things into alignment? Or maybe if there's a product or service that I am offering or that I'm not offering that I need to be, in order to align with the impact goal, maybe I make some adjustments there. For instance, perhaps you realize, hey, I'm working 45 hours a week, but I'm doing all these extra tasks that I could outsource, save 10 hours a week, and spend another 5 hours a week doing what I do best. That's going to help me reach that income goal. And so once you have those goals set out and they're clearly defined and they are your goals, that's when you get to play with them and see what needs to happen in order to bring them into alignment. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you found value in it, please like, please subscribe, and please leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. And if you have questions, the comment section is a great place to ask a question. And I would love for you to share what those goals are. Share one of your goals that you came up with, or all three if you want. I'd love to see what those goals are. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.